Hey Cosmic Family, welcome to your Cosmic Channel where we discuss galactic knowledge and wisdom from within. I'm Kate and today we're going to talk about how to be a multidimensional self. So let's get right to it. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. We're going to talk about how to be a multidimensional self. So what does it really mean to be a multidimensional self? Well, it basically means that we really need to kind of get comfortable with living in multi-realities at the same time and at least sort of accessing those different realities and knowing that, of course, our consciousness is much greater than what we have just anchored here in our present time, in this present moment. And it's really just about connecting with our other selves and the other versions of us that are existing in other realities and other realms simultaneously. So what does that really look like? Well, basically it happens when you just do this integration work. You know, this is the spiritual development, the consciousness evolution, expanding consciousness. It really is just all of that jazz. There's a lot to it. So what I wanted to kind of get across with this point is that it will kind of naturally start happening when you start evolving your spiritual development and really just doing this integration work, when you obviously sort of realize that you have these other selves and you start, you know, encompassing them, you know, really embracing them, interacting with them, even realizing, you know, that they're even there. And that's really, you know, how it kind of starts, you know, and then it's like a snowball, I guess, and it really kind of gets rolling. And then you start meeting loads of other aspects of you and you start integrating them and loving them and really just, you know, becoming more whole, I guess, you know, returning to the whole. So the second part of that, and really it's very much involved, it's the same really, is that as you're going through this process of like integrating your other selves, they naturally start teaching you to just let go. And what that means is that when we're anchored in this external reality and we place expectation and value on the external reality, that can lead to a lot of frustration really and confusion. So it's about, you know, as you're having these experiences, I'll give you an example, you know, you'll be going into, you know, or feeling a new energy coming in. And when that new energy is coming in, it's gonna feel very different and unfamiliar, and will sort of maybe naturally gravitate towards what we know, and which is, you know, a black hole essentially, and we're just kind of sucked into it because it's so familiar. So what this does, when you understand more about your other selves and loving them and integrating them, is that just naturally allows you to let go of this reality, let go of what's familiar, and really, you know, move into this unknown, this other realm, this other reality, this other self of you that exists. And it's exhilarating, and it flips from being scary and weird to being like so fun and exhilarating and exciting, because you're like, wow, this is so cool, you know, I'm sort of creating this. And what I've kind of put here is, you know, remembering and creating. So you're like developing this relationship, you know, just becoming more friendly with this other part of you, and you're in that same sense, in that same breath, you know, creating that and creating this fantastic self. And you're remembering that self as well, because you're moving from the unfamiliar into the familiar. So it's a process of remembering and creating. Another kind of paradox, if you see that as a paradox, but I see it as being very natural. So it's just a beautiful development and natural part of being a multidimensional self. So what that means when we're, you know, creating and developing these relationships with our other selves is that as we're, you know, letting go of this reality, this familiar reality, as we're naturally letting go of that and creating and incorporating this new self and this new reality, what we're doing in that same breath, in that same sense, is creating a sense of home, of safety inside of us. Because when we're, you know, doing this exploration of consciousness, of course it can get scary, and we will reach this, you know, kind of fear, pain level where it feels really scary. But at the same time, you know, these other parts of us are naturally so desperate and wanting to integrate with us and longing to be integrated and loved, because, you know, they love us so much, and their love will naturally allow us to love them back. And it's such a beautiful relationship. It's really wonderful. So that's really the main goal, is just creating this sense of home and this sense of safety inside of you, so that you can have these experiences with these other selves, with these other parts of you, and it not be scary, and it just be very, very natural. Very, very natural. So natural, in fact, of course it will be natural, because you'll be so exhilarated, and it will be so fun, and it will be so exciting, that you will want, you know, to have this relationship, and it will just be more natural for you to do that, rather than, you know, being scared of it. So the really important point as well to make is that, you know, you're naturally going to be transmuting so much of this fearful energy as you're doing this. It's such a fantastic spiritual development, expansion of consciousness process. And what I put here is more musical notes creates a greater symphony, right? So this idea came to me in a meditation, deep meditation that I was doing, which is that we are all notes of the universe, that the universe is sound, of course, the universe is beautiful music, and we are all notes, you know, playing along. And more of these notes and more of these sounds in harmony create a beautiful symphony, a beautiful song. So if you can kind of meditate on that idea or develop that idea in your own way, it really helped me so much when I was accessing in my multidimensional selves and embracing them and loving them. It's a really kind of beautiful metaphor that came to me that really helped me. And then, yeah, just lastly, just to give you an example of, you know, how I met my 11th dimensional Lyran self was, you know, through an ecstatic dance ceremony that I was doing. And you're just, you know, having the best time, you know, just having the greatest time ever in ecstatic dance. And then, you know, these energies will come in, and of course, you know, you react to that in any way. But, you know, for me, I was reacting to it in a curious, kind of playful sense. And then it became super, super clear to me that there was this other being that wanted to, that was there for me to integrate and to have a relationship with. And her name's Delilah, and she's awesome, and she is so fun. If you guys resonate with the Lyran energy, the very, very high frequency Lyran energy, they are so fun. They love dancing so much, and that's when I integrate and meet my Lyran self, and we have a relationship, is, you know, through dancing and through having fun. And I think I've said in previous videos, but I'll say it again, is this 11th dimensional energy is this super, super high frequency where sound and vibration is just everything, and everyone is just in ecstasy, and everyone is, you know, just one with the music, one with the sound, one with the vibration. And dancing is just absolutely, you know, that's kind of all you're doing in the 11th dimension, basically. So again, it's just that idea of music and dance and being in harmony, you know, these other notes, these other parts of you, these other sounds, moving, you know, really in harmony with them, and moving through this fear, moving through the unfamiliar. And that's really how you start becoming a multidimensional self, is, you know, moving through these very kind of different energies and vibrations, and then discovering that. And then you discover a new self, you discover a new part of you, and that is there for you to experience in this incredible journey of self-discovery that we're here for. It's really incredibly beautiful and amazing, and I really wanted to share that because I want to encourage you guys to do that. It's just so much fun and it's so beautiful. And yeah, so I hope that gives you a bit of an idea. These are really, you know, ideas for you from me to you, just gifts of ideas for you to chew on and work with, and, you know, have your own kind of experience with them. But being a multidimensional self is very much a process. It's very divine, it's very sacred, it's very fun. So yeah, have fun with it. Let me know how you guys get on. I would love to hear. And please, you know, join me again. I'm gonna talk so much more about this kind of stuff. And I wish you all the best with this. Let me know how it goes. And I'll see you again really, really soon.